Hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. Thank you for joining me once again. Often when I'm out in a woodland I get distracted or possibly attracted by all the trees that are around, and sometimes that means I avoid looking at the floor. So on today's vlog I'm going to get to the root of the problem. But before I do that, before I get into the vlog, please remember, if you enjoy this video, to give it a thumbs up, and also please remember to subscribe to my channel while you're there. All of that interaction really helps the channel moving forward, so thank you for that. I'm going to set up my first shot here and take a shot of these roots here. That first shot of the tree roots that I've just shown you is actually quite an interesting one. Often in woodlands where there is a very clear woodland path, what you tend to find is those paths tend to cut through in between various trees, and so the tree roots themselves will often form the edges of the pathway, and this is caused by people walking along the path regularly, and eventually the tree roots are exposed by the wear and tear, general everyday wear and tear of people walking past. As a result, what tends to happen is that some of these tree roots can, and quite often do, act as obstacles when we're walking through the woodland. So if I'm trying to look around for various different compositions and keep an eye on what's going on around me, I quite often won't look at the floor, and so I miss those interesting shots of the root systems in woodland paths. And that's basically what today's vlog is all about. I'm going to head to a few spots this afternoon where I can illustrate to you just how those root systems have formed our paths, and how the roots themselves can often be the most interesting composition within that space. So come along for the journey and we'll take some photos of tree roots. In all of these photos today I am capturing images of roots which have either caught me out because I'm not paying attention when I'm walking through the woodland and I've ended up on my arse, or I'm photographing roots that will help to lead the eye into the image, or they will frame the image perfectly. In some cases they will be a leading line, in some cases they will literally frame the edges of the image and draw your eye into the image, but sometimes they can be a bit of both. And just up here, a little way behind me, there's an area where I think there's going to be a shot which is a great example of both of those things, where the roots themselves are a framework for the image and the leading line. So I'm going to head off up there now and set up and take a photo up there. This is quite a challenging situation though, because what I've discovered is that the root system at the side of this path behind me is slightly less exposed than it had been the last time I was here. Now I don't know why that is. I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit closer and see if you can see some of the roots behind me. I don't know why they are slightly less exposed, but it just makes it a little bit more difficult. There's quite a few roots just here at the base of this tree, and then there's a few more leading up the edge of the path here. But they are a little bit difficult to spot from where I'm standing, and they are a little bit difficult to find a perfect composition. However, I think I've got one which kind of looks up this path here towards this opening behind me, just there. And as you go up the path you've got some of the roots from this tree and the trees on this edge of the path which run alongside the path. They work quite well, and they lead your eye into the image, as I said before. They also do provide a little bit of a frame and some sort of balance for that path. That path is quite pebbly, quite stony, and it's covered in leaves and various detritus from the autumn leaf fall, which is 6 or 7 months ago now, and that really hasn't deteriorated at all. So you've got this carpet of pebbles and leaves in the middle of the path itself, but the path is also very well defined because it almost looks as though there was some sort of stream running down there at some point, and it looks like the path forms the bed of that little bit of a stream that ran down this hill. I'm going to move on and see if I can find something else. I hope you like this image, but if not, please let me know in the comments box below, and that will help as well. I'll try and answer all of your comments as well, so if you do have any comments, please put them in the comments box below and I'll get back in touch with you. Well, this is quite embarrassing. That last shot that I was telling you about, ignore it all. What I was just telling you, complete load of crap. I've walked about 100 yards up the hill from where I was last standing to take that shot, and there is a much better image just up here, and as I turn around you might see these mossy roots either side of the path. That there running up the middle of those roots is the path that I'm walking up, and the roots themselves are either side of the path and they stick out like a sore thumb. There's quite a few of them and they really do lead you into the image. So I'm going to stop here and take this shot as well, because I think this one's better than the last one. So I hope you like this image instead. I moved away from that spot where I was last shooting because I finished taking the shot anyway, but also there were an absolute load of midges flying around, which annoyed me, not just because they were there, but because there's a little bit of a breeze in this woodland, and I would have thought that hopefully that would have blown the midges away, but not in that particular spot. There were tons of them and I was just getting eaten left, right and centre. So I've made my way on to another path, and I'm hoping to find possibly 1 or 2 more images today. As is very often the case with my vlogs, there are no plans. I haven't decided exactly where I'm going to walk before setting off. It's just a case of walking somewhere, keeping an eye out for what's going on, trying to find a few interesting routes along the way, tree routes. Also trying to avoid midges. Oh, and cows as well. I'll try and avoid cows. I was standing in this very spot just a couple of months ago. This would have been early March, I would have said. Suddenly heard a very, very loud buzzing noise right next to me. Turned around, I was right by a bee's nest, wasn't I? So I had to beat a hasty retreat at that point. But I've come back today. There doesn't seem to be any bees around, but just to check out these roots behind me. So I've had to stop here and take a photo of these. The light is playing up a little bit because it's quite sunny, but at the same time there's a few clouds around, so every now and then the sun's going behind a few clouds, and I'm really finding it difficult to work out exactly what the right exposure should be. So I've shot this one exposure bracketed, so I've got 3 different exposures, and then I'll combine them when I'm back in the editing suite at home. But I think I'm going to call it a day for now for this vlog. So if you've enjoyed this, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, and while you're there, please remember to subscribe to my channel, because every little helps. And I'll see you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.